Hello everybody, if you're new here, welcome to my channel, and if not, then welcome back to another one of my videos. So you're gonna notice that I am going to keep this arm out of the screen a lot because a bit of a long story, but when I was younger, I shattered my wrist, broke my arm, and then later on, a few years after, shattered my elbow as well. So this arm is quite busted up, and recently my wrist has been giving me a lot of pain and a lot of trouble. So I have a bit of a like cast kind of thing on it. It's just helping stabilize it while I wait to get an x-ray, but y'all, it's fucking me up. I can't even like fucking scroll in Instagram with this hand. I have to use this one now because this is my dominant hand and it's really fucking me up. But anyway, I tried to pick a shirt that would like kind of conceal it, but if you see it, that's what's going on. Welcome to today's video. This is a completely different video than I am used to doing. Like, I'm honestly a little bit nervous to do this video because I don't usually do full videos for like a specific book, but honestly, I just need to get it out of the way with this one. So today I'm gonna be like reviewing Wicked by AMO Jones in one video. Normally I will do it in like my wrap up or maybe I'll vlog it. And while I really wish I had vlogged this book, like really wish I had vlogged it, I didn't. And I was like 30% through and I'm like, girl, are you gonna vlog this? Should you vlog this? Yes, I should have, but I just wasn't in the mood to vlog and I was just like in the mood to internally scream at myself for everything that I was reading. So I just stuck with that instead. I feel like I didn't want to vlog and I would have been pushing it if I did. But then after I finished, I was like talking to myself for like 2 hours. It's 12:30 now. I'm not actually hungry, so I was like, we're gonna film. But I finished it at about 10, 11. So I have had some time to go through it a little bit, but I just want to talk about it because honestly, guys, it's fucking me up, okay? And I just want to chat about it. So before we get into the video, I actually wanted to introduce my like semi-Christmas station over here. I do recognize that it is still for the 15th of November, and I said I would do the 21st of November, but I'm kind of thinking it might be earlier. So while I wasn't gonna like roll out all my decorations, because I do need to get a few more, I thought that, you know what, we'll just go with this. So I have like the red and green stacked down here. Like, I'm obsessed with it, can I just say? And then I have white in the background, because for most of my decorations, I will be going with white. I just wanted to throw in a teaser, okay? So before we get into the video, I just want to say that I am a diehard AMO Jones fan. Truly, I've loved her books since I read them in September of 2021. I've read almost every single one of her books, I think excluding 2 of her oldest releases. I am a diehard fan, read all of her releases as soon as they come out. Love her very much as a person and as an author, and I also recognize that she doesn't really plot out her books. The characters kind of write them and she just like types it and publishes it, you know? And in no way whatsoever am I like trying to come for her here. I just have a lot of thoughts and I want to talk about them. A lot of them are good, a few of them are a little bit like frustrated, but obviously, guys, I am a diehard AMO Jones fan and I love her work always. Will definitely read her books, but this book just threw me for a loop, so here are my thoughts. Before we get started, thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stick around. Not all my videos are gonna be as chaotic and crazy as this one, but yeah, let's get into it because like there's so much going on in my head right now and I just need to like download it. First up, we're gonna start with the non-spoiler part of this review. Like I said, haven't really done this before, so I feel like it could be a little chaotic. This is, I guess, the like warning here. This is a chaotic book and my thoughts on it are also very chaotic. I will try not to jump from thing to thing like this book did, but also it might be inevitable. So we're gonna start with the spoiler-free portion of it, and then I'll let you guys know before we go into the full spoiler section. But yeah, this is gonna be a ride. Okay, so a little like review on this. I'm just gonna do like what I normally do in a wrap-up. So Wicked by AMO Jones. A little intro about it. It follows Ruby and Wicked is Sicko's best friend. So if you have read her other standalone, Sicko, then you would know Wicked as the grumpy guy in the corner, basically. He has a bit more involvement than that, but we'll just say he's the grumpy guy in the corner, and everybody wanted to know his backstory, right? So AMO Jones finally published a book specifically about Wicked and his heroine, Ruby, and they have a very tumultuous relationship that spans from when they're teenagers to present when this book takes place, when I actually don't know how old they are, but they're adults. It's a while after, and it follows them. Wicked, who actually has a like birth name, but we don't see too much of it in there. That was one thing I was really interested in. I was like, does he have a birth name that's different than Wicked? Because Wicked, I feel like, is a road name for an MC club, right? And while it is, we get to see his actual name, and I was like, oh, wow. I'm not going to say that's kind of a spoiler to me, because that was like one of the main reasons I read this book. Anyway, Wicked is part of an MC club with Sicko, so they are part of the Wolfpack MC, I believe it is. And that's not all to him. He has so much past, as you might have guessed if you read Sicko, and it's kind of crazy, to be honest. And then the heroine, Ruby, is part of the mafia. So you have mafia, you have MC Club, that shit's crazy. And of course you have everything that Emma Jones brings you. So like the confusion, the dark fucked up parts, the crazy plot twists, the I have no idea what is going on parts, and then the found family parts, and then like all of that, you know? That's my like spoiler free kind of review recommendation for Wicked, because if you read Sicko, and then I really think you should read his book. I don't recommend it to those who haven't read Sicko because I feel like you would be so fucking lost. But at the same time, it's not necessarily something you need to read before. I just think you should. Honestly, they're so connected that I feel like you need to read that one before. But would I recommend it? Yes. Not in every single video, not extremely often, but would I recommend it to people who have read AMO Jones before? Yes. Would I recommend it to those who are looking for an MC romance or want something similar to Sicko? Yes. Would I recommend it for dark romance readers who are prepared for that level of like craziness, fucked up, dark shit? Yes, I would. Maybe if you specifically didn't like some tropes that were in here, I wouldn't recommend it to you. So I guess that answers the question. Overall, I would recommend it. I'm probably gonna give it a 4-star rating and then a 3 on the spice scale. So yes, I would recommend it. No, I would not recommend it very often. And I have a lot of things to say about it. So let's jump in. This is now my spoiler warning. So we're literally gonna go into the raw, honest thoughts that have been looping in my fucking head for 2 hours. So the beginning, we're starting off there. Hopefully I'm gonna go in like kind of chronological order here, but like I said, thoughts all over the place. So at the beginning, it starts off with Wicked, and I keep wanting to call him fucking Sicko. I don't know why. So it starts off with Wicked killing his dad after he beat his mom. Makes sense. Shouldn't make sense, but in these kind of books, it makes sense. And then after he kills his dad, his #1 priority is his sister, Poppy. So when somebody like comes into their house and like, open up, police, and like they take them home, and they aren't actually the fucking police. They're the head of the Cosa Nostra? Is it Costa Nostra? I don't know. Anyway, they're head of mafia. The like Italian, that area of mafia, right? And they make Wicked a made man, and then he starts to fall for Ruby, who is the person that saved him's daughter, right? And that's kind of where we start off. And I was like, I'm really enjoying this. This feels like the beginning of Sicko, when it was like really good, when Jade and Royce were like kids, teenagers, and they were really in love, and they were like really wholesome, but like not, because they were Royce and Jade, but like still wholesome. And I really hope that we could get the like beginning parts from Wicked that we didn't get from Sicko, because like you had those beginning parts and then they just fucking vanished, and all traces of those two characters were gone, completely new people, and I was a little upset because I loved them together in the beginning. So I was really hoping we would get that from Wicked and Ruby. Naturally, I was in love with that. I love a good childhood friends to lovers, especially darker romance, my favorite. So I was really happy that that happened, and then it just all went to shit. So like Ruby got kidnapped by someone who was like involved with Wicked, and like that was his backstory, and I literally could not tell you what happened. Literally. For like 40% of the book. I feel like I just blanked out. Yeah, I really did not understand what happened there. And I think it was about 50, no, it was before that, maybe 30-40% for Royce or Sicko and like Orson and the other guy, I don't remember, but like Royce's friends from high school, where they get thrown into a like cell with Wicked, and then I'm starting to understand like, oh, this is the crossover, this is where they met. And she doesn't really go into like the fucked up shit that they do, but like one can assume that like it was fucked up, right? And then after that, I was kind of understanding it a bit again, because then he went to go live with Sicko and the wolf pack, and that made sense. Poppy was out of the picture because we still thought she was dead, and it just made sense, right? But then it just all went to shit again. So like literally, I'm gonna say up until 30% I understood. 30 to maybe 50 didn't understand. 60 to 70 understood. The rest out the fucking window, you guys. So moving on, Royce brings Wicked back home, that starts it, and then we move to the future, or like the present, because we were back in the past, now we're back in the present. Sicko and Wicked go to like Chicago to open up a new chapter, open up a new artisan, like what even, I don't know how to say that, but like a new one of their clubs that they had, and they go there and they meet with like Ruby's dad, who's like not dead, and like it all just goes to shit again. And then Ruby and Wicked see each other, and Ruby is at that time the head of the Cosa Nostra because her dad we thought was dead. And so she's like, nobody comes into the city without me knowing. and Wicked just like pops up with this new MC chapter, and then they like see each other and they go fucking head to head. We expected that. Oh, sorry, I expected that. I was like, yeah, this is gonna happen. But what I didn't expect was for Wicked to find out that he had a son, and Ruby to like tell him, or kind of not really tell him, but like not really stop him from figuring out that he had a son. Because the last time they saw each other, I think she got pregnant, had a son who was 4 years old, named Wolf, and to be honest, I wasn't all that shocked. I was like, yeah, makes sense. Because like, AMO Jones, bitch, it made sense. But also, I had noticed that AMO Jones hadn't had a surprise baby in a while in some of her books, and I was like, we're due for another one. Honestly, we're due. So it made sense to me, which is kind of crazy because it shouldn't have, but it did. And so Wicked found out within like 5% of them meeting, maybe even 10. And I was so disappointed in that because I love the good grovel, not really grovel, but like tension when usually the heroine hides a kid from the hero, and I don't know, maybe toxic, but I love that like simmering tension between them, and then it like blows, and then he like meets his kid, and then he like tears up, and then like becomes the best father ever. Yeah, it works, you know? We didn't get that at all. We got like 5% of them meeting again, and then boom, he's off to see his kid. And the sporadicness of these jumps in plot, we got to see the past, and that was as confusing as it was, but it made a bit of sense. But then in the present, it was like, we are here, now we're here, now we're back here, and I'm like, what is going on? So anyway, after he meets his kid, I'm like, okay, that was sort of wholesome, kind of enjoyed that, but then it just literally all goes to shit because she's gonna marry someone and like he does nothing about it, and he's hiding so much from her, and there's so many secrets, and I literally didn't understand anything. So I can't talk about like what happened to 60 to 70% there, like out the window. Oh, I will say that they tried to go to La Toussaint or something like that, which is like the French named club that Royce and Sicko made for basically finding trafficked women, which by the way was genius. I loved how they did that. And it was very, very them. Like nothing else could have suited them more than that. But Ruby and her friend go there, and Wicked, who I literally keep calling Sicko, is there with another guy planning to have like the threesome that Royce and Wicked had with Jade, but like a threesome with Wicked, Ruby, and somebody else, you know? And it didn't even happen. It was all set up to happen. It didn't even happen because she just went out the window again with another turn in plot. And at this time, I am completely lost. I am like, I don't understand what is going on. And that just threw it out the window even more because I was like, okay, I think I can get on board with this because like I feel like he would kick him out like halfway through the threesome, and then they have that moment, and then that'd be great. Didn't happen. Didn't even happen. Fast forward to about 80-90% into the book where they start to like get more happy and closer to the end, you know, but we're not going to talk about the ending yet. We're going to talk about what happened before, because she was set to marry a Russian mafia guy to like set those connections, you know, because they're old school, and he doesn't even stop it. They literally get married, and then shit goes to hell. And I'm like, Wicked, this is not you, buddy. You're a toucher and I kill you. You're a psychopath. But this is not proving that you are, you know? Like, he let her marry some dude. And honestly, that didn't bother me too much, but looking back, I'm like, Wicked, what, why? You know? And it just didn't make sense to me. But then after that, the ending was so rushed. Like, not only was everything that I thought was real fake, we threw in some other shit with Marikai and Nico from Antichrist, her other standalone. They somehow showed up in the plot, and Wicked fucking met with Nico and is like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, what is going on? So apparently there was a hit on Wicked and Ruby. Nico was gonna go on it. Then fucking Marikai shows up at the end of the book and has like a letter to Ruby and is like, see you in 20 years. And I'm like, what the actual fuck? And then also, like, Ruby has a twin, and I'm like, ah. At this point, the plot is out the fucking window, okay? And it's gone out the window. I feel like that last 10%, like after 93%, so unnecessary. I was talking to a friend about it, and she's like, I feel like that last part was added for drama, and I'm like, yes, 100%. Like, it was so unnecessary. And honestly, to sum up this book, it was fucking crazy. And there were so many parts in it that I was like, this is gonna be so good. I'm loving this. And then other parts where I'm like, I literally want to fucking throw this book across the room. And honestly, I contemplated not reading an AMO Jones book ever again. And that is so crazy to me because, like, I love Emma Jones. I'm a diehard Emma Jones stan, and I have been since I read her stuff like last September of 2021. Like, I am a diehard fan. I can't say that to you enough, but to me, her last 3 releases have been so chaotic that I don't understand anymore. So yeah, this was an amazing book, and it was also really chaotic and had no plot and was honestly a mess. And I say that in a really like loving way, as loving as I can, because I love Emma Jones and I know she doesn't like plot out her books, like the characters write them. So I always take that into consideration in my reviews and stuff. But yeah, what the hell was this book? And honestly, guys, now that we're at the end of it, this was very therapeutic for me. I feel like I just talked through all my emotions and had like a banger therapy session, and now I can go about my day. Anyway, this turned out to be so much longer than I wanted it to. Like, I literally thought this video was gonna be like 8 minutes long. Here we are. And wow, honestly, wow. Wicked by Emma Jones, girl, I don't know what to say except for everything that I said in this video. Alright, we're gonna have to end off the video now before I get into more fucking thoughts. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. For those that have read Wicked and like watched this full video, drop me a black heart emoji down in the comments. I really want to see how many people like actually watched this whole video and not just the non-spoilery part of it. And if you guys like videos like this and want to see some like one book, one video reviews, then let me know down in the comments. I'd be open to doing them, especially if I have so many thoughts on them like I had for this book. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget, all of my links are down in the description. You can find my wish list, my Goodreads, my Instagram, and more. Happy reading, and I'll see you guys in my next video very soon.